For Christ's sake, make a move and stick with it, would you?
King me.
Son of a bitch! You lousy, cheating little shit!
Richard the Dick Coughlan yesterday made an atrocious video titled Why Die Hard is a Christmas Movie, which he tries to defend this hipster position that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. In this response, I'm going to show why it's not a Christmas movie, not why it's a bad movie. Die Hard is a wonderful summer action film, one of the best of all time. People often confuse my criticism of the claim that Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie with thinking that I think that it's a bad movie. No, there's plenty of really great films that aren't Christmas movies and a bunch of terrible movies that all fit the criteria of being a Christmas movie. In fact, these two still give me nightmares. Now, I've heard some pretty valiant and strong attempts to try to defend this narrative that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and this was not one of them. There's some really far-reaching claims in here and some big factual inaccuracies, and we'll go over them in just a second. But first, what is a Christmas movie? I think the standard is pretty clear, and it's a standard that most film people understand to be true. The movie is about Christmas, or essentially features the magic of Christmas. The movie has to take place on or around Christmas. The film had to be released around the holidays, October, very early January, somewhere in there. But usually it's November through December. Now, the story has to have a redemption that happens to the main character or the antagonist. The theme of it has to be family, even if not biological. It can't be replaced with any other holiday, and often features a Christmas miracle. Now, one or two of these things can be missing or subdued, but some are more important than others. But I think this is a really reliable definition. Now, I have heard people bring up Home Alone as an argument to me, because genuinely people believe that Home Alone does not qualify as a Christmas movie. But let's talk about John Hughes' 1990 classic Home Alone as a Christmas film, just to clear the air, because it's brought up later in his video. So Home Alone was released in November 16th of 1990. Kevin McAllister is fed up with his family, especially his older brother Buzz, who ate one of his cheese pizza, and he attempts to retaliate, which causes him to be punished by his mother. He gets upset and wishes his family would all just disappear. He wakes up the next morning getting his wish. Kevin enjoys his family being gone, and he lives it up for a while until the wet bandits, Harry and Marv, show up and attempt to rob the house, only to be foiled by Kevin. They announce that they will be back at a later time. He is frightened, and he realizes the importance and safety of family, and that family provides, and wishes to Santa Claus himself in quotations, that all he wants for Christmas is to get his family back. That it's the only Christmas present that he wants. He also talks to the creepy old man that there was lore around, Old Man Marley, who tells him the importance of family and details his kind of experience with family, and the two create a bond. Thus, he is now part of Kevin's family. It is here where Kevin is redeemed. After a slapstick show of booby traps and almost failure, he is saved by the person who is now a member of Kevin's family, Old Man Murphy. He wakes up Christmas morning sad that he didn't get his Christmas present that he really wanted, which is his wish of a family, only to be surprised a few minutes later when they return. And he is happy to see them all, including his older, mean brother, Buzz. Now, this is not one of John Hughes' best films, but it is fitting enough to be called a Christmas movie. Could it have worked on any other holiday? No, because the movie relies explicitly on Christmas themes, like the Christmas miracle, Christmas wishes, and Christmas presents to be delivered by Santa Claus, who is a Christmas figure. Die Hard was released in mid-July of 1988. It is about a cop who goes to visit his estranged family in LA on Christmas Eve at her company Christmas party. He becomes amidst in a terrorist plot that is just a cover for a heist, and with the help of his police training and a machine gun, foils not just their attempts to rob the place, but to rescue his wife from the ruthless killers that become and become close again with his once estranged wife. Interject some holly jolly music and jokes. Now, could Die Hard have been taken place on any other holiday? Now, Richard the Dick Coughlan contends no, because there's no other holiday where this scenario could work. And my answer is clearly yes. Thanksgiving. I'll give Dick some slack because he doesn't live in the United States, so he doesn't have a cool holiday like Thanksgiving. Thus, why England sucks. But in the U.S., companies do throw like Thanksgiving parties just like Christmas. Not all companies, but a lot of corporate ones do. It is because it's a federal holiday, all of the other offices will most likely be closed. Thanksgiving is a holiday where families come together, even if they have to travel to do so. Now, you can see this in a much better John Hughes film than Home Alone, Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. Now, was there a redemption in John McClane? No, he was a cop and thus always a hero, at least according to the narrative that qualifies him as a hero. Not really. But he was always wanting a reuniting. There was no real story arc to him. Not legitimately that you would see in a Christmas film. But wait, wasn't what he did miraculous? No. What he did was surely impressive. There was not a definitive or even an implied Christmas miracle. He was an everyman with some police training, and with that experience and training, as well as a machine gun, he was able to execute a countermeasure to stop the terrorists. Whereas Kevin getting 2 wishes explicitly, and one even getting fulfilled by Santa Claus, that can't be disregarded. But what about the music and jokes? It really would not be hard to replace a ho ho ho, I have a machine gun with a gobble gobble gobble, thanks for passing the machine gun. Replace It's Christmas Times in Hollis, Queens with Alice Restaurant Massacre, and Let It Snow with Mary Chapin Carpenter's Thanksgiving song, or God forbid, Adam Sandler. Fixed. Now, you can't replace Santa and a Christmas present and Home Alone with Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving doesn't have presents, wishes, or a mythological figure that represents it. Well, maybe the noble savages and the peaceful colonials, but that's a whole other topic. Now, Dick makes a few other points that I think fail or is very far-reaching. First of all, the names. The names Holly and John. Holly, who is John's wife, estranged wife in the film. Now, John is supposed to be a clear, according to Dick, parallel with John the Apostle, who was a traveler to the Nativity. Unfortunately, John wasn't born for another 6 years after the Nativity, but okay. And again, traveling for the holidays is a very common thing in the United States, not just for Christmas, but for Thanksgiving as well. Now, John is the second most common name in the United States next to James, and like most other popular names, like James, David, Joseph, Thomas, just to name a few, are all biblical names. Now, her name being Holly as being proof that this is a Christmas movie is just as toxic as argument, as arguing that you should give children 20 holly berries, for dessert. This is not a good reason. In fact, most of the greatest Christmas movies of all time, most of the most well-known ones as well, don't have people named after Christmas decorations. They don't. Sure, this is probably a decision by the screenwriter to emphasize the Christmas theme of the film, because in the original book for Die Hard, her name was not named after a Christmas decoration. But it's not a reliable criteria for a Christmas film to have this. In fact, as I was writing the script for this video, I was looking through various characters in various major films just to double check, like Wonderful Life, Home Alone, A Christmas Story, Nightmare Before Christmas, and I'm not seeing any major character with an on-the-nose name like this. Now, I think this is important to bring up because if you're having rules to set what is a criteria for a Christmas movie, and most Christmas movies don't find that criteria, it can't be really an exception to the rule if no rule exists, if everything is an exception to the rule. And this will come up one more time, but not as pronounced right now. Dick says the movie also needs to be a feel-good film. Now, most movies are feel-good movies. Most movies have good endings. And most movies aren't Christmas movies, and most of those movies aren't Christmas movies. And Christmas horror films, which is a huge genre, which most of them qualify to being as Christmas films, usually don't end on a very feel-good note, like Krampus or Silent Night, Deadly Night. And again, there can't really be exceptions to the rule if it really isn't a rule. Now, Dick says that John had a gun taped to his back in the shape of a cross. Now, here's what I'm going to call bullshit on this one. The video fades to black in his video. It fades to black just before it shows the supposed cross on John's back. But here is a clear picture of the gun taped, the clearest one I could find, of the gun taped to John's back. Does that look like the crucifix to you? Does it look like the cross to you? Is this what you saw when you went into a church? I did not think so. So yeah, this is just complete bullshit. Sorry, it's just bullshit. Now, Dick goes on to say that Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow is further proof, and his reasoning goes something like this. Now, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and one of the reasons why it's a Christmas movie is that Let It Snow is being played. And Let It Snow is only now considered to be a Christmas song because it's associated with the Christmas movie Die Hard. Dude, this is complete circular reasoning. Let's talk about Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. Well, I'll just say Let It Snow from now on because it's annoying saying it that way. Let It Snow is not a Christmas song. And it was only considered to be a Christmas song after people like Dean Martin, whose version isn't in this film, if I recall correctly, someone else's cover. Dean Martin had released it on his Christmas album of all of his Christmas songs. But the song references nothing about Christmas at all. The story of the song is just a man or a person with their loved one during Christmas. It's cold outside, it's warm inside. Let's just stay inside and stay warm and snuggle with each other. That's pretty much the gist of the song. It has nothing to do with Christmas, unless you associate any time that it snows with Christmas. Okay. But that was the reason why it was kind of considered a Christmas song, is because of albums like this. So yeah, now it is in the cultural milieu of being considered a Christmas song, even though it technically has nothing to do with Christmas. Now Dick claims that the movie foreshadows the debate whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie or not. At the very beginning of the film, when John asks the driver to put on some Christmas music, and the driver plays "It's Christmas Time in Hollis, Queens" by Run DMC. John tells him that this is not a Christmas song, and the driver responds, "Yes, it is." However, this one's not really up for debate. It is a Christmas song. I think what John was trying to convey was this is not the stereotypical type of Christmas music that you would expect to hear around Christmas time for most people. But the song is about Christmas, and therefore it is a Christmas song. I think that standard is pretty easy to kind of view as a Christmas song, or is at least viewed within the milieu of Christmas. Because music and film are completely different genres of art. So yeah, Dick goes on to say that that what goes on in Christmas Time in Hollis, Queens is a direct parallel of what was going on in Die Hard. So what is the song Christmas Time in Hollis, Queens about? Well, the song is about how they saw Santa Claus before he vanished after being noticed, leaving a wallet with $1 million inside. He goes home and he realizes it would be a bad idea to steal from Santa Claus, and starts thinking of a way to return the wallet to Santa Claus. When he gets home, he was greeted with a letter from Santa Claus saying, "Don't bother returning it because it was a gift to you. Merry Christmas." Well, now that I think about it, yeah, that was the plot of Die Hard. That was the plot of Die Hard. Now that I think about it while having a stroke, that was the plot of Die Hard. What smells like toast? Anyway, let's look. No, look, people don't think about Die Hard on Christmas. Most people don't. The ones who do are a very vocal minority on the internet. In fact, a lot of polls show that most people don't associate Die Hard as a Christmas movie. But that's not an argument of population. This is just a growing kind of concern that's been happening over the last decade or so. This trend of watching Die Hard on Christmas came about in the 2000s with the rise of the hipsters, these people who didn't want to say that A Christmas Story or A Wonderful Life is the best Christmas movie anymore, just because that's what everybody else said, and they wanted to be cool. They were listening to shit when it was still underground, right? So they clinged on to a summer action flick with Christmas themes and thought that having a few Christmas songs and a few Christmas jokes is what makes a Christmas movie. But it's not. Batman Returns, Lethal Weapon, Sound of Music, Trading Places, Eyes Wide Shut are all great movies centered around the holidays and feature the music, themes, and atmosphere of Christmas. But no one waits for the holiday to pull them out, just like how most people don't wait for Christmas time to watch John McClane walk on glass. Just stop. And even if it was a Christmas movie, which it's not, it still wouldn't be better than Bad Santa.
Jesus Christ! Can you maybe keep it together for just 10 minutes?
Worms. And Hail Santa.